After soldering these components, it will look something like this. Okay, clean. Soldering should be clean. There should be no short circuits, and that's it. We don't need to connect these 4 resistors for some reasons also. Now we'll connect the Atmega base. The notch, there is no notch on the drawing. The notch should be on the upper side. Then we don't need to connect C2 also. It is recommended that you connect C2 as 0.1 microfarads, but I will not connect for now because it's quite difficult. Okay. It is just a decoupling capacitor which reduces noise. Y1 is the crystal. This is the crystal, 8 megahertz crystal. We'll connect that. It doesn't have polarity, so we can connect in any orientation we want. And C9 and C8. C9 and C8, the 2 capacitors after the crystal, are very important crystals. Those are 22 picofarads. Okay, 22 picofarads are the ceramic capacitors, so they also don't have any polarities, so you can just connect them. Okay, now we have to connect J7, J9, J5, J8, J15, J14 and C3, C4. C3, C4 are again 0.1 microfarad capacitors. Those are ceramic capacitors. Okay. All these jumpers, those are J's, J11 also, are box strips. In fact, J5 is connected to VCC, all the 8 pins, and J8 is connected to ground, so that it is easy for us to take VCC and ground, that is 5 volts and ground for the sensors. And J9 is connected to port A, which is specially made for sensors, taking inputs. Like this. Okay, after soldering it will look something like this. As I've already told you that R1, D1, C1, then switch, reset switch, and J19 are not necessary for you to connect them. Now there are a couple of more things I want to tell you, is that this switch, you have to make one more connection manually in this connection, in this switch. We have to connect the pin number On the right hand side, the three pins, the first track comes to the first pin and the second track is taken from the last pin. But in the switch itself, the first two pins or the last two pins are connected depending on the position of the switch. So there is no such situation when the first pin and the last pin is connected. So we'll just have to short the last pin and the middle pin of the switch using soldering metal. So we'll just take a drop of soldering metal and place between the middle pin and the last pin and just short it. So it will look something like this. The middle pin and the last pin is shorted. Okay. There is one more connection we have to make manually, is that the VCC of this part is by mistake is not connected to the upper part, so we have to do that. I'll just tell you how we are going to do it. We're going to take upper pin of R1, that is this, and we're going to connect it through a wire to the first pin of J19. Okay, again the upper pin of R1, which is VCC of the upper board, and connect it to the first pin of J19, that is the VCC of the lower board, through wire. And make sure that you take exact length of the wire and the wire runs sticking to the board, not like a coil. Upper pin of R1, and we'll just connect it to the first pin of J19. After soldering, it will look like this. Okay, again the wire should be sticking to the board. You can just use a drop of Fevikwik or something, just so that it doesn't come up like this and gets removed, you know. So we're almost done. This is our board. I'll just have to solder these things. I'll do that, and our board will be looking like this.